Hey, looks like we're live. How is everybody? We jumped the gun a little bit because Jason, he got off his live a little early. Who all we have in here? Torque Racing is here. Buff's Garage. Rabid Transit. Third to comment, first to register. NSB, fourth to comment, second to register. How ironic is that? The Ron English. Auto Salvage Outlaws, who is encouraging everybody to stick to it and make it happen. And I think that's cool with him. Got Danny Boyd in here, Dart Sport, correct. Don's in here, Barrows, Bubba, Bullet. And Bullet is, I had read this before we went live. He appreciates the support, but, his father died, and he's not going to be able to make this year's No Name Nationals. We look forward to meeting him next year if everything works out. But you ran a good race, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
I really enjoyed his car and the build, and those were great videos to watch.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, cool cats. Just things don't always work out when you want them to, and
absolutely.
My Aunt Nancy's here. My Aunt Nancy, who keeps getting closer and closer to moving back here. We're looking forward to that. Who knows? Maybe we'll have her in more videos when we get her up here. Jason's Garage is here. SRP /RP down low. Andy. Man, it's almost past your bedtime, man, but I'm glad you swung by. Landon's here. White Trash Motorsports. Big Mike of the Hoopty Barn. NSB. Well, hey, guys, I know I'm live way too much. You guys have probably seen way more of me than you want to. But we've got 24 days left, and we still have several no-name 500 guys who need to make it. We got Lunar in here. Colleen's in here. How are y'all? So here's the deal. This is where the people who are just right on the edge of can we make it, can we not? This is that time to make that charge. And Clay is one of those that's going to make it. He's close. He's not in the bag close, but if you guys all work your network, he's going to get there. Between all of his efforts and all of y'all's, he's going to get there. And he needs to be there because he's one of those channels. He's kind of reminds me like LB Bruin 79 doing cool stuff that not enough people are watching. Like, for instance, all of you guys who've set up passing gear linkage, that kick down linkage, you know how aggravating it is? This guy makes his own out of a bicycle cable. That's cool stuff. That's really cool stuff. That's like real fabrication. That's the kind of stuff most people would look at and go, no chance I'm going to live through that. I'll just keep looking. This guy makes it happen. So somebody that's made out of that and makes videos of that kind of stuff, we want him at the No Name Nationals. But we just need more people to have heard of him. So you've got 324 today, 327 when we went live. I've pinned a link at the top. And as always, if you go there and say, no, I would never want to subscribe to this channel, no one's making you. But I want these guys to be able to say that everybody subscribed to their own free will. We're just raising awareness. So LB's making, yes, LB did a carburetor spacer collaboration with Just Mopar Joe for a drag-tested piece. And because LB doesn't title it to where anyone ever knows what it is, nobody finds it. So there you go. You just got to know what's going on. YouTube doesn't know what to do with special report number 15 or whatever. Mopar Man 78 in the house. So, Clay, tell us what all you've been doing besides making kick down linkages out of cable and fixing deer collision damage on a duster. And
I've been making a real hard push on that truck project that I've been showing off. I started that about 2 years ago, and I think I was maybe dreaming or drunk or something because I figured that I was going to have that done in about a year. And, if I hadn't been so ambitious, I might have been. But I tore it right down. I coated the frame and I built it right back up from that. And it's just been a wild ride. Having so much fun with it. I've been working on it with my son. Now you'll never see him in any of my videos because whenever I ask him, he gives me this dumb little grin. He says, "Nope, no thanks." He's just not that kind of guy. But that's really what's been taking the most of my time in the last little while.
I could see you turning the corner though with this. Start making some shorts. You've got good content and solid stuff. Just more people need, to know that you're doing it. And it's pretty rare to get you on a live. You've been on my lives twice. How often have you been in other lives?
I've ducked in just quick a few times, and I always want to spend more time doing this kind of thing and getting to know fellas and being out there with this. That number 24 just behind you, that really snuck up on me real fast. He gets at 100. Oh, it's at 90. It's at 24. Things are getting real, So I really wanted to be able to do more with the community that's been created. It's been so good. It's been so much fun. But I'm a pretty busy guy. Like I was telling you before, I help coach a high school football team, and I'm really active with other stuff with my kids. I spend as much time as I can in the garage, but I love making the videos. It's just there's only so much time in the day. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you. And I always say that the clock and the calendar wait for no one. And I put this 24 up to remind people that the clock and the calendar wait for no one, because I started doing this the very beginning because I wanted people to know and keep track of it and keep on it so that we all know that this is coming. Keeps it on the top of people's mind.
I wish you'd have knocked a couple numbers off there to give me time for driving days. It would have helped me motivate me a little bit there.
Yeah. So what is your trek? How many miles is your trek?
I had it figured out at one point. I don't remember what it is, but I'm a kind of a highball driver. I'll get down there in a couple of days, pretty easy. I'm sure a couple of long days, but I've kind of consigned myself. I'm going to be taking the truck and the trailer with the car in the back. Originally, I had thought about road tripping down with my car, but it's not going to happen. Not this time. If things go well and this becomes a year-over-year event, I'll definitely think about doing it in the future. Mm-hmm. But for this year, I'm just gonna chicken out and take my truck and trailer in the car down that way.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. And plus it gives you a little more options. Maybe you want to get froggy with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tune on it for bracket.
Yeah, that's for sure. Actually, because I won't have time to do it any other way, I'm secretly thinking about maybe in or outside beside the trailer at the event, I might try and screw together my 100-shot nitrous kit and give her a blast down the track that way.
Go for it.
If that does happen, that's going to be happening in the pits. And if anybody's watching and they're looking to give a new nitrous guy a hand, there might be some questions to be asked right there.
Oh yeah, there's going to be all kinds of spray going on. Yeah, everybody's rooting for you. But the thing is more people need to know what you're doing. So what I would encourage you guys in the chat to do, I have a lot of people ask me, what can we do to help? Well, I'll tell you what you can do to help. Clay, let's see. Let me see if I can do this without that thing. Yeah, I can. I can catch that speaker. I was going to say, I was trying to look at your sub count. I think I can live here. Usually I do it with my phone when I'm. All right, what are we up to now? We are 329. So you need 171. Totally doable. More people need to know what you're doing. And so what all you guys in the chat can do is, and we've got some more no-name 500 guys who need our help. They're working hard. They need our help. Make a list of your car buddies who aren't on YouTube. Your car show friends. You know, those kind of guys who are into stuff, but they you know, come and spectate occasionally on YouTube, but they're not real participants. The kind of people who watch everything and don't ever sign in, they don't subscribe. Get them to just subscribe. Tell them it costs them nothing. And who knows, maybe after they subscribe, they get a couple of notifications and say, wow, this is pretty cool. That's how we can grow the community. That's how we can help these channels out. So, you know, be thinking about that. Thing is, I would do the same thing, make a list, but it will be all of you guys in the chat. So my list is here. That's how that works. John at Cope Racing Transmissions is here. Wants to know how Andy's headers, extremely expensive headers, are coming. I want to know if they've repaired that transmission. See, Cope hired a new guy who promptly destroyed the transmission. No, things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw Kim Fixes Things in here too. I wouldn't mind doing a live like this during the week late with all of the monkey bike people. And we could get Big Block 402. We could get Kim in there. We could get James and James, all the monkey bike folks. That would be a lot of fun if I can get them all corralled.
Yeah, that monkey bike thing sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, how about that? Dallas and I had a lot of fun. You know, that class is neat. And I think once we got into it, we realized things got a lot of potential for growth and people making them faster and different things. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Kim has hers right on schedule. Yeah, you know what? It's everybody's in different stages and different places with their builds. So some of you guys may have started seeing, if you saw it, the direct link to my channel, that's fine. But that No Name Nationals commercial should be running on YouTube now. So it should be just being in your ads now too. But I'm working on another one. And I got a fun commercial that should come out here in 2 weeks if I can get the right cooperation. And you'll be seeing it soon. But I'm working on another one. So Auto Salvage Outlaws, a guy who speaks some experience, says if he digs in and posts a few shorts a day, he'll make. I agree.
And, you know, I started that today, and that's 100% right. I mean, I threw out a little short kind of directing people to one of the videos that I'd made. And I think it netted me six subs or something today, 4 or 6 or something like that. And that's certainly what I've got to do. And there's been so much help. People have been so good about pointing guys in the right direction and telling everybody what you need to do to help grow. It's just one of them things a person's got to buckle down and do it.
Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. Make a short on your short if you want to get subs in a short time. How's that for a tongue twister? This is not good, Andy. Header guy has been quiet. Not good. Ask him which cylinder he's on and which one he started with. So I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. Kim Fixes Things is a spin-off channel of the main channel, Kim Passable. So that's why you don't see like Kim Fixes Things in the regular order of the No Name 500 because Kim already has the subs. So Kim was in from day one, but just out of pure camaraderie and wanting to do this, did a spin-off channel. I think it's great. I think it's cool. I just mentioned that because we got a few other channels starting to do that. I know, like, for instance, Rapid Transit Garage. Jason over there does a spin-off channel for the extended stuff that doesn't make it to Rapid Transit Garage. So, like, for instance, just for example, they put a transmission in, they show 10 minutes of it. You can go over to Jason's channel and you can see the other 20 minutes of stuff they didn't show you. It's just it's a spin-off channel. So I'm okay with that. It's perfectly cool. And we got channels starting to do that. And that's good. That's cool. That's great. But Kim did that before I think anybody did. So it was kind of different. You like that, do you? Make a short on your short if your times are short to get your subs. Let's start to sound like an auction. Look at this. Shopcat says you're at 333.
Oh, hey, this is awesome.
We're climbing. We're climbing. Now, do I think we can get 500 right now? Well, the odds are not great. Never say never. But what I'm hoping is that you guys will all make a list. Just, think of 5 people who who like cars and aren't YouTube regulars. Make it real, just simple, easy for them to subscribe. Help our friend Clay out. Yeah, see. Yeah, Buff's got a spin-off. I mean, it's fine if it is. Now they're all talking about it. Layton says this channel's a spin-off to whatever comes to his brain. So speaking of this, Andy wants to see Lunar get that Supra dialed in. Lunar, we still going to drive that thing? You're not going to chicken out. Tell me you're going to drive that thing to Sykeston. Everybody's kind of getting excited to see what that'll run now. Hello, Ling Martin Outdoors. Maybe a little clickbait. I'll tell you, half my suggestion page is nothing but clickbait junk these days. I'm good with clickbait that actually is a good video. It's clickbait, but it's not bait and switch. But man, so much stuff on my page is just weird. Mike says, my channel is a whim after talking to my kids about starting one. Check it out. Who knew where that would go, right, Mike? The entire internet is clickbait. Pretty close.
Yeah.
My channel is not. It's that boring. If I put up a live that tells you what I'm boringly going to do, that's exactly what I boringly do. Any of you guys have any questions for Clay? I mean, he's got some cool stuff going on. Not as far west in Canada as Wild Rose Garage. You're more in central Canada. So
yeah, I'm about 5 hours east of him. It's
okay.
too bad, I was in his city this summer, but I didn't have time. I couldn't make it work to try and get together with him. I would have loved to check out that car. I think that thing is just great.
Isn't it interesting? You're both in another country and yet you're going to meet.
Yeah, exactly.
In the United States. Now,
yeah.
We've had some people have some travel complications coming from Australia, and it's amazing how far people want to travel to come to this, and we're trying to do our best to make it the best event possible. Give everybody the opportunity to do everything they can do, because you guys are the ones that are going to make the show. You're the guys who are going to make it everything it is. We're trying to give you the best stage we can. But it's really flattering how far people want to drive to meet each other. I think it's the greatest thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lunar's going to try to get it on a chassis dyno. We got a 660-foot long dyno in Sykeston.
The best kind.
SRP, what is this? Mine is my sorry excuse for not being able to make it to the NNN. What's that? Did you get your 500 subs? I think SRP said he was not going to register. Was not going to register until he got to 500 subscribers. What is this, Lane Martin? The fact that John has the best angle on the cam than everyone he streams with. I just like to try to make my studio look decent. Sort of, maybe. And I use, for whatever it's worth, I use a Logitech Brio, and I've got it on a 2-foot long mount, and I have the mount clipped down to a desk behind so that it's independent of the laptop. So if I bump the desk, it doesn't bump the camera. It's a different setup, but it works out pretty good.
Yeah, I had to set up quick in my home office here just to make things go tonight. It's kind of a disaster in here, but we make it work.
Big Billy is asking what part of Canada you're in.
I'm in Martinsville, Saskatchewan. It's just a few minutes north of Saskatoon.
Mopar's Mustangs and minivans, who makes 600 brake shoes a day, he is going to make more so that big rigs can stop and not run us all over. Where were you when the movie Maximum Overdrive was going on? If you don't know what that means, you're too young to get it.
That's when he was chasing that little Valiant, isn't it?
No, that's Duel. That's Duel. Duel's a little bit older than me, though. Maximum Overdrive came out when I was a kid. SRP, this is a party, man. Do you have? I don't have any idea. I don't remember. Now I want to know. And now, of course, it's jumping to where I can't catch it. Anyway, SRP, what are you? Are you sub-count? Are you close? Are you coming? Tim Mopar. Yeah, everything's good. If you got it, you got it. If you want, you can do 10 channels if you want to. Doesn't matter to me. If you're in, you're in. It's all good. I just appreciate it that people would ask. Yeah, see Andy. He knows what I'm talking about. What so you're working on the truck.
Yeah, I'm working on the truck, and actually just this week I'm going to be able to take my car in. I decided not to fix the deer damage myself because I pay good money for that insurance, and I wanted to make sure that I got it done, and maybe for a change something of mine will get fixed properly instead of fixed the way I fix things.
So how'd your claim process go?
You know, it went amazingly well. I did a little video just outlining the process, just kind of high level and how it went, but kind of similar to dealing with pretty much any insurance. Their first offer, they offer you money right quick and right away. Here, we'll get you going, and it was a little low, but the shop that I worked with has experience working with my insurance provider, and he said they were really good to deal with. When he would go back to them and say, hey, you missed this and this, you're gonna have to pony up a little more dough. They were never a problem to deal with that way. And fortunately we were able to get all the panels. I got a really nice hood and a really nice fender, get those all pre-done and jammed and ready to go, so that when he does take the car, he'll only have it for a few short days and I'll get it back.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be nice the way it's going to work out. And I'm going to take the opportunity to do a few extra little things to it. Just visual things, just to make it a little bit better, kind of make lemons out of lemonade.
Yeah.
I guess that's not really the way that works, is it?
Ron English. He's such a great guy. All the English brothers are great. I enjoy getting to hang out with them in Canada. But he's got his vacation squared away and he's going to come out. Love to have you. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was worried for a little bit too. I didn't know if I was going to have my my passport in time. It's here now and it's all squared away and it's good, but I thought that would be the next thing, be all ready to go and get stopped at the border with no passport, just longingly looking across at the other side. But fortunately, that worked out for me.
Well, now here you can just walk in. I mean, I mean, it works on the other side.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's no wall on our side, but you just can't walk in. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh. Now I remember I had some Canadian friends when I was in college, but that was in the '90s, and they would just say, "Oh yeah, you don't need a passport, just ID."
Yeah, it wasn't all that long ago. It wasn't all that long ago that they made it a priority.
Yeah.
But I think it was after 9/11,
Okay.
if I remember, is when that became a requirement.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I don't know. I've never been to Canada. What I would like to do is I'd like to go to Canada sometime. I want to open a bank account there. I think that'd be prudent. But I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind going and seeing the Windsor or whatever it is now, the Windsor assembly plant over there.
Oh, yeah.
Where my Dodge Dart was made. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
if I went to that part of Canada, of course. But that would involve going through Detroit, which I'm not as excited to go there. Wild Rose is saying, yeah, after 9/11. He got his. He was working with it this spring, got all nervous about it. I can see that. What was that process like, getting a passport? I haven't had a passport since I was a little kid.
Well, it was just a renewal for me, so it wasn't a big deal. I'd had to get one a couple years ago just for a work trip, but it was just a renewal for me. But it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just, without getting political, our current government can turn basically any mountain or any molehill into a friggin' mountain and make everything as difficult as it can possibly be. So a 2-week process took me 2.5 months, and I was a little nervous because you never know what's going to go on anymore.
Yeah, it looks like it's a disaster from what I read.
Yeah, she pretty much is.
Yeah, and we're trying to emulate it, but hey, that's a topic for another day.
Absolutely.
2007, they started doing passport. I got conflicting. So anyway, after 9/11, yeah. He moved through when it started. Okay. Big Belly says you only needed a birth certificate. I know that you could get through with ID. I know people who did it.
Yeah, I remember that too. I do.
You think it's great? Yeehaw. So when you come to No Name Nationals, listen, okay, you planning to get in the bracket, Burnout? You gonna just see how lucky you can get with the 28-10-5 tire heads up, or
I got a fresh set of tires to burn off, and I still haven't made the headway that I need to make to really race much anybody. I do have a standing call out with Stephen Holtz from quite some time ago. I'm not sure if he remembers that or not, but I certainly do.
Stephen should make it.
I'm sure he will. He's got a lot of great content too. I really enjoy his stuff too.
He'll make it. That's the thing. I made a few phone calls to some guys who are still in the hunt, but they weren't a shoe-in if we didn't buckle down and make it happen. And Clay is on my short list. Steven, on the other hand, yeah, well, certainly will help Steven, but it's like he's at 450. He can, from where he is, he can limp across right from there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Got to catch Clay up a little bit. So hopefully tonight. What's Clay's sub count, if anybody knows? And Big Belly Racing is saying that Windsor Assembly is home to the minivan. Okay, that's cool. So my Dart was built there. Colleen was asking if the Dart Sport. I don't think so. I think the Dart Sport was built at Hamtramck, Michigan. The Swinger was built in Windsor.
Speaking of the Dodge minivans, I remember the first time I ever went to the track with my Duster. And you know what it's like, anybody that hasn't drag raced thinks it's so dang easy. Yeah. I go and I line up and I lose and I lose and I lose. And it's like, what the heck am I doing? Finally, I lined up beside this little white, like one of the first looking Dodge minivans ever made. And I'm like, oh, thank God, finally something I can win. And I just happened to look over, and on his fender, it's got this little turbo badge. And I giggled to myself, and I says, yeah, right. Well, he ran about a 1080 something to my 16. Just about sucked the paint right off my car.
Man.
So, yeah, I guess even minivans can be fast if you do it right.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I'm just going to tell y'all, NNN that's not populated as No Name Nationals under the hashtag. I've seen people, but hashtags don't work that way. Yeah, so hashtag No Name Nationals has nearly 5,000 videos under it. October 2nd, is there going to be a tire discount? Probably. By the way, speaking of that, in case you don't know, there's going to be a tire machine on site. The guys at NSB Custom Cars are bringing a Coates rim clamp tire machine. So we will have the ability to change tires on a modern, a modern tire changer right there on site. We're going to have a tire machine. We're going to have welders. We're going to have a crane, all kinds of stuff. So we can pretty much fix anything if you've got the parts right there on site. Yeah, Buff is saying hashtag No Name Nationals on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Right. Correct. Anybody going to have a portable dyno? Not that I know of. However, and I need to get with these guys. I don't see them in here tonight, but James and James have access to a dyno in Paducah, Kentucky, an hour away, and might be able, we could do some stuff there on a Sunday, possibly, if there's interest. We need to get together. Yeah, Buff wants to do a race on changing tires. Oh, goodness. Y'all in the chat, keep an eye on the subs for Clay. Wouldn't it be amazing if we just got, we put the net out there and you guys with bigger channels do a share that the live is going on, that kind of stuff, and we'll see. I don't know. It'd be fun to get him closer. Fun to get Clay closer. Because once you get over 400, now it's ticking down pretty good.
Yeah.
Now you're to where you watch your subs every short, and you're getting, see, we're at 341 right now. So you're getting close.
No, that's awesome.
What's that home stretch for you number, Clay?
Oh, I don't know. I felt like I was on the home stretch a whole bunch of times. It seems to go in spurts where you're just rolling, and then all of a sudden it just dies off. But any help that anybody can give, I really appreciate. I'll keep trying to do my best to put out quality content.
Wild Rose is going to walk Mickey, and I was hoping he'd be able to bring Mickey, but he can't. It's just not going to work out for him. So he's going to hang out with my pit bull that looks a lot like Mickey at the No Name Nationals. That's a great question. That's a great question. What should Clay make a short about? So you guys have seen what he does. You've seen what he has. I think there's, let's see. Let's figure out maybe 3 shorts that Clay can shoot and put up that we'd like to see him do his spin on. I mean, I think definitely a short about that bicycle cable thing was a great idea. Maybe a short that's titled right about collision damage on the Duster, right? It's got the year of the Duster and, hit a deer and is it totaled? Ask a question that only ridiculous people will feel like they need to rush in and answer.
Yeah.
Or make a short about the damage to the Duster and say, how much is this car, or say, is it totaled? How much will it cost to fix? I hit a deer. A lot of people won't be able to resist getting in there to advise you on that.
Yeah, for sure, eh? Yeah.
You can ignore terrible advice, but you'll still get the sub.
That certainly made it popular when I took it to different events like Cars and Coffee and whatnot. everybody might walk by it every other time when they see a crashed in fender, then they're all over it.
That's it. Yeah, put up a short that says, is my 70, was it 73 or 74?
It's a 74.
Is my 1974 Plymouth Duster totaled from hitting a deer? How much will it cost to fix?
Yeah.
You know how many sitting in lawn chair at car show guys will not be able to keep themselves from getting in there to tell you what they think it'll cost to fix?
Yeah, you bet.
Two is short about a short. There you go. Deer versus Duster. Deer versus Duster is not bad, but you need to have as many words in there as possible for YouTube to pick up to know who to put it in front of. So Plymouth is good. Duster is good. Something like totaled, wrecked Duster. That kind of thing, people won't be able to resist.
Yeah. Is it wrecked? Question mark.
Should we part this Duster out? Should we part out this Duster? There's some good ones you can do.
Yeah, they'll be parting me out first, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, wrong answers only.
Yeah, you bet.
Light the blazer on fire short. Does the person whose birth certificate you use have to be alive? Brought from the grave, total Duster. Got to get Plymouth in there, though.
Yeah.
Savor junk. That's good. That's good.
That's a good one, yeah.
That'll get it. Yep. You want to furnish the prize or get insurance on the prize. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have big money giveaways that never had the money. They just insured for the loss.
Yeah.
Which is pretty smart as long as they'll pay up. I wouldn't want the responsibility of having to make sure that I did everything right to make sure the insurance claim was honored. Man, to me, that would have to be a really serious contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Good night, first responder. Appreciate you. All of you guys who've made 500, now's your time. Look at the guys who are coming behind you who need help. Blake, I did think of that. Hovering at 341.
That's excellent. Awesome.
Yeah, hey, that's more than he had today earlier.
Yeah, you betcha.
Destroyer 1320. Hey, Destroyer 1320, we have a guy here who wants to incinerate some tires in your burnout competition. You know, this gentleman here needs some subscribers. He's 159 away from destroying some tires in the destroyer1320.com burnout competition. If you know any car people you can put his channel out to, help a fella out. He wants to put on a show. And I'll tell you, the No Name 500 has been great. It has brought out the best in almost everybody. It's brought out the worst in a few. Well, I can't help that, but it's brought out the best in a lot of people. Shows people what these participants are made of. And you know, a lot of them, we've had 41 channels cross the finish line so far, 41.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Be driving a 74 Plymouth Duster?
74 Duster, 275/60s on the back. They put up good smoke. It's not fast, but it does great burnouts.
You know, don't forget. So participating is what gets you points in the overall point system. Overall winner of the No Name Nationals. So just participating in the burnout competition does award points. So, Clay, you got a shot. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not trying to create work for a busy guy like you, but we're thinking, man, we got a guy right here who wants to put on a show in the Destroyer 1320 Burnout Pit. Eric's one of these guys that's so creative, it's almost slightly scary, right? And we got with him about this and said, okay, man, this is going to be your playpen up there. So who knows? That's going to be a party up there on top end. Our burnout pit is 156 by 94 feet.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Now, Barrow's got some advice. Here's a guy who knows what he's doing. He went from about 50 subs and 42 subs in January. Now, he's got a bigger channel than I do now. He said, put the year, make, and model in the title. Because YouTube doesn't know what a dust. Yeah, YouTube thinks it's a coat. Right. Correct.
I have to say Barrows has been super to me. He's shared a bunch of my videos, and I really appreciate everything he's done for me.
Barrows is great. Barrows is great. He's one of the greatest stories of the No Name 500. Roy Boy wants to see you put on a smoke show. Just Mopar Joe in the house. All right, Mopar people.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, I heard a car smacked the wall at Cletus's event. Not saying one won't smack the wall in Sykeston, but we got plenty of room. I just kept hearing how cramped that burnout pit was. We didn't want to do that. So I'll tell you, when we were over doing recon in Sykeston, I made 2 phone calls. I called Blake and I called Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. Blake from Bad Tree and Dalton. I figured there's 2 guys that like to roast tires. Let me see what they think we need. So we got the sizes that both of them said would make a good pit and went bigger. So there you go.
Yeah, the more room, the merrier. There you go.
Yeah. We got lots of great talent, in this community. All kinds of different things, all kinds of subjects. But when it comes to tire smoking debauchery, we know who to talk to. Buff's just bigger is always better. Well, there you go. Yeah, we haven't even quite figured out how people are going to surround the pit to watch it, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Destroyer, the thumbnail for this has his duster, but I will send you what I have. I've got some different pics. Yep, happy to do it. Buff is saying an Alaska-sized pit. There you go. So you can try to do some Aussies freestyle of donuts with a 300-inch wheelbase dragster, right?
That'd be something to get a hold of those colored tires for that.
Yeah.
Those are quite the deal.
SRP, we don't know. Could be at Jeffers, maybe somewhere else. The event is a great event. People want it. It's just that the weirdest thing, by complete chance, Larry Jeffers has bought the IHRA. So we don't know what the sanctioning of the track will stand, but it doesn't mean we can't have the event there. We may. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll have to see on that. It's kind of strange, but with this, there's so much room, probably be enough room at the walls, actually.
Just surround it with pickups and tailgate all around.
Yeah, we'll make that work. What are the crazy people up to tonight? I've got good answers for that, JB, but I won't say. Yeah, so where is Clay? It would be really cool to get him over 350 tonight. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be a nice bump from this afternoon. Dean is saying, don't put Vegemite in a kitchen appliance unless it's made by Kelvinator or AMC. I would never have even thought of doing that, but it stands to reason that Dean would. I think Vegemite is what they make bushings out of. The battery guys have eaten it. Okay, we're at 341.
341, that's great.
It'd be really great to crack over 350. Put him on the downhill side of 300.
Yeah, you bet.
That'd be cool. And then maybe we can have him back on, 100 shorts later to cross the line or something. You never know.
Yeah, I'll have to make a short every time I change mine or something just to see.
Blake highly recommends it because he wants other people to have to experience that. Yeah, no kidding. Lunar and the Supercharger breaking parts and hearts. Yeah, we want to see it. We want to see it. People, I'm starting to hear people get excited about that Supra. Well, Ron, Don will give you a transcript. How's that? Dakota, how's it going? Dakota's time out, a.k.a. Dakota's time in, a.k.a. David Coe. Speaking of that, you get style points for your General Lee shirt, Clay.
Oh,
I like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so excited when Travis Bell found the first General Lee, and he took it and he showed it in the condition he found it, which was terrible.
Yeah.
It was repainted and used for different, scenes. It was in green and it was rough. And then the guy commissions a restoration where they got another Charger, stripped the parts off the first one, hauled it for scrap, and put those parts on the new car.
Yeah.
Basically, he found it and then destroyed it. So now the first General Lee went from existing to not existing.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
He said they rebodied it.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
No, it's not the same car, that's for sure.
No, it's not the same car. It's a different car with a different VIN. It's a different Charger. And he did that because it had a crease in the transmission tunnel. Well, fix it. It's a 69 Charger. It's worth fixing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Straighten that thing out and fix it.
Yeah.
Or just leave the crease and just, it's part of the history. Show it. It's,
Exactly.
Man. I just don't understand that. Just Mopar Joe, you saving the timeout for Dakota and Sykeston? I don't think Dakota wants to come anywhere near Sykeston. We'd love to have him, but he seems like thinks that's a really long way. Barrows is saying on the upside, Clay, you could cannonball it down to Sykeston with whatever subs you have. Yeah. Shorts and stuff on the road. That's what I said. Worst case for Clay is if he doesn't get to 500 before, put a cardboard sign on panhandling, for subs at the spectator entrance. I have a feeling you can get some subs there.
I could rock a sandwich sign, don't you think?
Yeah, of course. But ideally, you won't have to do that because I'm telling you, we are going to honor the work of the No Name 500 guys. We're not going to just waive the sub requirement. There are 41 people who worked hard to get those subs, and we want everybody who can to join them, and we want everybody who can't to still come out, have a good time. Get the subs next year, but still come out and enjoy it as a spectator. Because I have a feeling that after this year, everybody knows it's coming, everybody knows it's required, and there won't be any controversy. Hopefully it'll be just as much fun because this year's No Name 500 has been fantastic. When restoration goes wrong, that's a good one. That's a good title. These guys are coming up with some good titles here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Whoa, Buff says you're at 347.
347, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, because we know a guy who thinks he might not need 500. We got news for him. Ding dong, he's wrong. He trailers a car down, thinks he's going to run with 375 subs. He just increased his fuel bill, but he's not running. And Just Mopar Joe, who is unfortunately the poster child for the Destroyer1320.com theft deterrent system. He said his mom's 2016 Scat Pack was stolen a few months back at the Memphis airport. He has a 2021 Scat Pack now and won't park it anywhere. If you want to see that 2016 Scat Pack before it was stolen, go back to the live I did with Just Mopar Joe last year in April, last spring, and it's in the background behind us. And Joe's brother Drew is doing an oil change on it in Joe's shop. And that beautiful car got stolen at the Memphis airport. And Destroyer 1320 makes a theft deterrent system to keep those cars from being as easy to steal. They're easier to steal than you'd think, but with his device, it sure would add a lot of time for a thief. Makes them want to pass and go on to something else. So, you know, if you have one of those vehicles, he makes them for some other stuff too. Destroyer1320.com. Check it out. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a really cheap piece of insurance if you have one of those. I had no intention of doing this commercial for him, but I thought that thing was really innovative. I mean, he saw a problem and he fixed it, and he made a business out of it. And that business is sponsoring our Burnout competition. I just think it's a wonderful story of small business. So more power to him. I think it's great. Yeah, look at this.
Oh, look at that, guys.
Subs. Yep, rules are rules. But you know what? So I have, okay, so first of all, there are 24 or 20, I have to look off the top of my head. There's either 24 or 25 channels that are still registered. All of them are in various states of you know, how close they are and whatnot, and when they've made content last and so forth. And for all different reasons. I mean, sometimes reasons of health, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we have a few that are, I try to work with the ones that are the closest / need the most help, right? So I made a few phone calls. You return my phone call first, so you're on here, and we're, you know, checking, sending out messages and such to see who still would like to check out my next project and subscribe. And you're one of them. Dizzy is one of them. And we have a few others on my very short list of people to try to concentrate on now. So, yep. But Dizzy's close. Dizzy's close. And I tried to send him a message, and it went to a landline. So. You know, we actually called John Schneider, see if he wanted to come out to this thing. I won't even, his getting his messages and stuff like that in meetings is just really crazy. That's a story in itself. Maybe Dallas, I'll tell it someday. Yeah, I never answer calls. Just leave a message. Yeah, it's crazy today, all the numbers and stuff you get calling you. Cement Surfer. There's another one on my short list. Yeah. I mean, listen, I would love for my short list to graduate as quick as possible, and I'll make another short list. But Cement Surfer, Dizzy Izzy, my next project, Stephen Holtz, LB Bruins. There's 5 right there that are working hard. They just need more people to know about. Cement Surfer, I left you a message. Haven't heard back yet. Again, you probably saw an out-of-area phone number, but I'd like to have you on a live too. You're working hard. You're putting up content every day. David Allen Coe knows people. You know, he knows people in Nashville, right? Big Bits of Mopars, how's it going? Really enjoyed that video of you getting Jack Pine Savage out. That was cool. Really looking forward to seeing how that car runs. Yeah, look at that. Lars, he just subscribed.
Thank you very much.
We've got 44 in here, but the refresh rate, people cycle through about every 25 minutes, mixed in with a bunch that stick around. So you don't necessarily notice all the ones sliding in and out of here. And, you know, you get a lot of exposure on these lives usually if you got a good crowd.
Looks like we got a good crowd tonight for sure.
It's always a good crowd here. Always. These are great folks. Yeah, you can do a live sub drop. Ideally, you'll get your subscribers before you go, but man, if you're a warrior, come on out, because you hopefully you can put your cardboard sign on, stand at the gate, and get subscribers come the way in.
Well, like you said, and I totally agree. Hopefully, I won't have to do that. But
Hopefully not.
Either way, there's gonna be tons done on the trip down there, because I'll have nothing else to do, just driving. So
The best way to make sure that you pull your parachute cord hard enough is jump out of the plane.
yeah.
Turlo in the house. Terry Grover in the house. What? Mr. 380, surely you're not talking 385 subs. Now that's Dean. Who knows what Dean's talking about? Dean could be talking about a big block Ford. Yeah, check your... Yeah. Yeah, I'd get a lot of people with that. Yeah, Cement Surfer's rocking it. He's putting out content daily. Only thing I'd say is make sure to check your titles, optimize your titles. It's a big deal. When you optimize your titles, the YouTube machine will really work good for you. Need help optimizing your titles? Talk to Barrows, talk to Buzz, talk to me. We'll help you optimize your titles for maximum success. Just Mopar Joe's good at optimizing titles. So, Destroyer 1320 wants to know about your channel builds.
Well, right now I'm always working on my 74 Plymouth Duster. It's currently 318 A500 overdrive automatic. It's now 391 geared 8 3/4 rear end. I run a 275/60 rear end or rear tire and a front skinny 195/65/15. It's a car that I built from nothing. I actually drove, my dad and I highballed it 5,700 kilometers in 64 hours down to Dallas, Texas to pick it up. And I built it in 2 years. I built it from a bare, freshly painted shell to a running, driving car. I love that car. I drive it everywhere. And that's my big deal. The other project that I'm working on, it's an 89 short box 4-wheel drive Dodge pickup that I actually drove in high school. And at the time, as I could, being a broke ass kid, I put a bit of a lift on it, put 1-ton axles under it, did all those things that really don't help, but young guys think are cool. And I drove it like that for years, and it ended up sitting out at my father-in-law's farm for about 15 years until my son found it. Now, fortunately, just before I was able to sell it, my son convinced me that he should have it and we should fix it up for him.
361.
361, that's awesome. So fortunately, after a couple of years, we're just about done that truck. Hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be driving it. It's going to be my son's daily driver, take him to high school and stuff like that. So that's the two I'm working on right now. Once this truck I'm working on now is done, I've got a couple different ideas. There's a couple old trucks in the bush that everybody seems to like, those will it run, can I get it running and drive it home type of videos. So I've got a couple of them queued up to see what I can do, because I really want to build myself a roughed up old daily driver pickup truck, burnout machine, kind of like the stuff that I drove when I was first driving. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Of course, there's all this stuff. All my daily drivers are getting old and stuff like that, and they all need a bunch of work too. So there may be some contact coming on those as well. I just like to stay busy doing everything I can out in the garage.
Too late tonight for my dog. He's done with today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barrows just said, any of you that want help on that, my email's on my homepage. Send an email, you get his number. Barrows is good at helping you optimize your content and shorts. Barrows was a student of the content creator workshops, and he tried to learn everything he could that Buzz and Blake had to teach him, and put it to work, and really took off. How many subscribers you have now, Barrows? You passed me a little while back. He's got a really dynamic channel and did it in 9 months. Two Hacks is in the house, greeting people in his Two Hacks style. I'll tell you what, though, I don't want to keep you too late because I know it's about 9:22 your time. We'll stick around just a little bit more. Any of you guys have any questions for Clay? Dust Devil Garage. See, we got second shift rolling in. And by the way, I'm going to be reaching out to some of you. I'm working on another commercial for the No Name Nationals. And I sent out an email to people looking for clips, and I'm also working on something else. So just stick around for that. Brian reminded me of that. I like Two Hacks too. Two Hacks is great. Cool guy.
He's one of the real success stories from this whole thing too, isn't he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ron English wants to know how the border crossing is.
It actually went really, really well. I stressed myself out over it so badly. It was one of those things. I researched the life out of it. I had all my ducks in a row, and still I was actually visibly shaking when I pulled up to the border crossing with that car on the trailer. And at the end of the day, it went so smoothly. And the guy, he says, look, I can totally see you're 100% straightforward with this, but I had documentation. I had printouts of emails between the seller and myself. I had so much documentation, because the biggest thing is that they want to ensure you're being honest with the sale price, and they want to ensure that you have a title and different things like that, because honestly, without a title, you don't own the car as far as the American side of the border goes. So there's just a few things you need to know. And actually, that's something I was thinking about doing for the longest time here, is maybe just putting together a video regarding my experience importing that car into Canada. It's still, even with the Canadian peso being in the toilet, it's still your money ahead as a Canadian to go into the States to pick up project cars.
Yeah.
Because number one, the sheet metal and whatnot is so good in so many places compared to what we have here. And number two, if you get a car out of a real hot, dry area, the interior may be shot, but that's the beauty of the Canadian cars. The exterior rots around a real nice plastic and whatnot in the interior. So it's a great opportunity to do something like that. And even by the time you go down there, pick it up and haul it back. I mean, I drove down with my truck and trailer and hauled my car back, and I was still way money ahead compared to doing all the metal work and restoring a Canadian car.
Oh yeah. I mean, let me tell you, heavy duty rust repair is some intensive work.
Well, honestly, on this truck that I'm just finishing off, I did so much rust repair in just the box of it. I was able to get good sheet metal, good doors, good fenders. The cab was actually quite good on it, but the box was just rotten. And I spent hundreds of hours welding and patching, and the thing is, I was teaching myself to do it as I went, right? So I got a lot of hours into that truck. I'll be honest with you. I just honestly wish that I was creating content and making videos then, because there would have been so much I could have shared.
Kim fixes things. I wasted a year on my van's bodywork. So much rust. Kim got really creative. Kim, are you going to take the van? You going to put the van in the bracket? I mean, no reason not to.
Van burnouts are great, even if you got to get a couple people on the back bumper taking weight off. I've been there before, back in the stupid days.
You know, that's an interesting point, because with Kim running in the monkey bikes, runs in the bracket, runs in the burnout competition, I'll tell you, now you're really racking up some points there. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point. 327 garage. Who is best with shorts and helping? I would say some people who are really good at the shorts. Street Fox 347 is really good at shorts. Obviously, Barrows is really good at shorts. I'd talk with them. They know how to title stuff and optimize it. I can help you title them. Buzz, obviously, Roadkill Customs. Blake is keeping his car understated because he wants maximum ability to sucker people in. Kim says, please don't even tempt me. Well, you know, if you enter the bracket, look, okay, so, you know, as you know, a bracket is all about, you know, running closest to your dial without going under, and what package you have with the Christmas tree, right? So you can win with the slowest vehicle there easily. Just takes consistency, right? And you don't have to push your van any harder than you don't want to. You got to drive the van back. You don't want to break it. No problem. Don't lean on it hard. Just be consistent. Yeah, you can run the van in the bracket.
The only thing is, I have to say, be careful, because drag racing is extremely addictive. Everybody knows that. Everybody that's ever done it pretty much knows that.
Oh, yeah. Buff says you're sitting at 361. So here's the deal: you can't do the bracket with the monkey bike. You just can't, because it'd be a safety problem. But perhaps. The SRP wants to see what's going on with that. Yeah. It's a wild looking van. Blake wants to win his first trophy. What, his first trophy this year, maybe? Blake's an accomplished bracket racer. Just Mopar Joe says it's bedtime here. Well, understood.
Take care, Joe.
Later, man. Thank you for all your help. Auto Salvage Outlaw says you're 139 away.
Well, that's way closer than I was. That's just awesome.
Well, that makes sense. By the time you get to Sykes, you don't know if you'll want to spend any extra time in the van. That's a good point, because I'm going to spend a lot of time in the van driving to Sykes myself. All right, well, I tell you what, I don't want to keep Clay up too late. That said, you're on a roll. You've got a lot of subs. You're at 361 apparently, so that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. You want to stick around for another 10 minutes and just get you to bed at a decent time and see if we have any more people come in here, and like Mopar.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, Mopar Al just rolled in. Mopar Al, you know, we got We got Clay here. Clay needs 139 more subs to qualify for the No Name Nationals. So if you can make a short list of people who are not yet subscribed to Clay, my next project, link's pinned at the top, he'd appreciate it. He's one of those best channels that not enough people have heard of channels. Dakota stays up. Dakota's about 12 or 13. Dakota's 18, I think, or 19. But we keep him up too late. We're bad influence. Yeah, exactly. You've got this. Hammer a little and you're in. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to do what I can to close this out strong. So,
yeah, we got a few more minutes. Any of you guys have any questions for Clay? It's a rare treat to get him on a live. You don't see him on live very often. So he's a cool cat, and he just kind of stays under the radar a little bit. But he's going to get to Sykeston, and look out. Yeah, I can see him putting some people on the trailer.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to going. I haven't been anywhere for so long that it would be great. It'd be great to meet so many good people that I've come across during this. It'd be great to meet some people.
Thank you, Tim. What's interesting, like you guys in the comments, if you weren't there earlier, we were talking about this, and if you haven't seen the video, this is the kind of cool stuff. Dakota will love this. Clay couldn't get passing gear linkage for his Duster, right? And you're familiar with the Mopar style. The guy takes bicycle cable and makes a fully functioning passing, puts a kick down linkage, makes it from a bicycle cable for his Duster. Cost effective, local parts. How cool is that? That is really cool. I don't know anybody else who's done that.
Yeah, and actually the parts bill of parts that I actually used was about $10 plus just some odds and ends and junk that I had around the shop. Other than that,
oh yeah, Street Fox, he'll have 10,000 subscribers time he does all what he's going to do in Sykeston. He makes a lot of content. Brew Racing, I'm doing okay. This is definitely the best part of today. Today was a trying day. I spent some of the afternoon underneath of a mower, so this is definitely more fun than that. Oh, yeah, make shorts this weekend. You know what, Street Fox? Would be a bad idea. Make some shorts and title them. Maybe we can use them as an example to show people, how to get maximum effect with your shorts. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, Thrifty, that $10 kickdown linkage is fantastic. I think it's a great idea.
I'd bought the expensive ones in the past, and I thought this is the same stuff, and I like building something out of nothing anyway. So,
no, Street Fox, I've got a funeral to go to in Tennessee, unfortunately. Jay has a A518, which is the A500's big brother, the 727 based overdrive. I didn't realize that's what you had in the Dart, Jay.
Yeah, they're a great transmission. Well, my A500, it's fine too. I was actually looking for a 518 when I got mine, but they're pretty rare around here, so I kind of had to take what I could get.
Auto Salvage is saying all you have to do is post a lot of shorts a day. You do. But you know what? Post your content. Don't post other people's content. Post your content. But yes, post a lot in the shorts will do it. Street Fox must make a short of like everything from the concession stand to every car on the property when he does. But he makes a ton of content. Bedtime for Bonzo, bedtime for a lot of you guys. We'll wrap up here. Any last things? I want to go ahead and thank the mods. I want to thank Joe, Andy, Blake, Buzz, Ari, Fubar. We appreciate you guys. 362 subs. That is excellent.
That is great. I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight and contributing John, I want to thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, man.
That was super good.
Well, we thank you. We thank you for being able to join us. I know it was short notice, but we just kind of worked out. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
You're at 362. You're closer than you were earlier, right?
You
So
betcha.
you need 138, and we'll check in. Who knows? Maybe we can get together. But we want to get as many of the guys that are working to get to graduate and cross the stripe in the No Name 500 to Sykeston as we possibly can. This is a great community. It's only going to get better. And who knows, with the growth of shorts and stuff like that, it might not be the No Name 500 forever. I mean, it might be the No Name 1000. Might have to be. Might have to be. It may get to where it's that competitive. So we'll see. So the best thing to do is qualify for it now. Grandfather yourself in. But anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for joining me, man. Been a pleasure. It's always fun to have you on. You're chill. You have good stuff to talk about, good stuff that you're working on.
Yeah, thank you very much too, John. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, man. Maybe we can do a big social out of have you on. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to contribute and to join in a little more often here.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. We'll see y'all soon. Have a good evening.
Hey, thanks, bud.